Sūrah Muḥammad. Surah number 47. In the name of God, the most gracious, the ever merciful. God has laid waste the deeds of those who denied and stopped others from the path of God, and those who professed faith and did righteous deeds, and believed in what has been revealed to Muhammad. And it precisely is the truth from their Lord. God has distanced their sins from them, and has set right their affairs. This is because those who denied followed evil, and the believers have followed the truth, which has come from their Lord. Thus does God mention their examples for people. So, believers, when the time comes for you to combat these disbelievers, heads must be struck off mercilessly, until when you fully rout them, strongly bind them as captives. Then when you bind them, after that it is setting them free either as a favor, or by taking ransom. Such should be your dealing with them, until war lays down its arms. This is the task that you must carry out. Had God intended, he could have taken revenge himself. But he directed you so, that he may test one of you by the other. And rest assured, as its consequence, those who were slain in God's way, God shall never let their deeds go in vain. Thus soon he will show them the way to their destination, set right their affairs, and admit them into paradise. He has made them recognize it. Believers, if you help God, he shall help you, and firmly ground your feet against these enemies. As for those who have decided to deny, for them is destruction, and God has let their deeds go in vain. This is because they disapproved the thing which God has sent down. So, God rendered even their righteous deeds useless. Then have these people not walked about in the land, so that at some time they may have raised their eyes to see the fate of those who passed before them. God utterly routed them along with everything of theirs. Now it is the examples of this which will come before these disbelievers. This is because God is the helper and guardian of the believers, and there is no helper and guardian of these disbelievers. Surely, God shall admit those who professed faith and did righteous deeds in orchards below, which streams flow. And those who have denied their affluence should not be a cause of amazement. They are being provided for in this way, and eating and drinking the way animals eat. And ultimately their abode is hell. On what basis are they showing arrogance, O Prophet? How many settlements there were, which were mightier than this settlement of yours which has turned you out? We destroyed them, so there was none to help them. This is what is going to happen ahead on the day of judgment as well. If they do not believe, ask them. Then those who are on a clear proof from their Lord, and also do righteous deeds, will become like those who do not have any proof, and whose foul deeds have been made fair to them. And they are led by their desires? Certainly not. The example of paradise which the God-fearing have been promised is, that in it are streams of water that are pure, and in it are streams of milk whose taste shall not the slightest change, and streams of wine which shall be sheer bliss for those who drink, and streams of honey which shall be absolutely transparent. And there are fruits of all kinds for them in it, and forgiveness also from their Lord. Will those for whom are these favors be like those who abide in hell forever? Who will be made to drink sizzling water in it, so that it will rip apart their intestines into pieces? And among those who dislike this book revealed by God, there are also some who lend an ear to you but do not hear and understand anything, until as soon as they come out of your presence, they ask those endowed with knowledge, "What did he just say?" It is these people whose hearts have been sealed by God, because they have remained followers of their desires. On the other hand, those who have adopted the path of guidance, God has increased their guidance even more through this Quran, and has granted them their share of virtue. They are not being able to understand your message. So, do they now only await that the day of judgment comes upon them suddenly? Thus they must remember that its signs have appeared. Then when it will come upon them, what opportunity will remain for them to understand? So, O Prophet, You must, however, bear in mind that there is no God except God. And the time of judgment has drawn near. So, keep seeking forgiveness of your mistakes. And of those of your companion, Muslim men and Muslim women. God knows the places where you come and go. And knows your abodes. These who have apparently professed faith used to say, "Why is not a surah about war revealed?" Then when a clear surah was revealed, and it also mentioned war. Those who have an ailment in their hearts. You see, that they stare at you, the way a person inflicted with the stupor of death stares. So, woe be to them. The right attitude for them was, that a directive is to be obeyed. And what is worthy is to be said. Then when the matter is decided with certainty, if they had proven truthful with God, it would have been better for them. So, O you, who lay claim to faith, if you have turned right back, what else can be expected from you than you spread disorder in the land? And break blood relationships? It is these people who God cursed. Then made their ears deaf and eyes blind. So, do they not reflect on the Quran? Or are their hearts bolted? In reality, those who have turned around once guidance had become plain to them. Satan has deceived them, and God has also given them respite. This happened because they said to those people who disliked what God had revealed, "In some matters, we shall only obey you." God fully knows their secrecy. If this is their attitude, what will happen at the time when angels claim their souls while striking their faces and their backs? This is because they followed what angered God and did not like to please Him. So, God rendered their apparent good deeds useless as well. Do these people whose hearts are afflicted with ailment think that God will never reveal their malice? Had we wanted, O Prophet, we would have shown them to you in such a way that you would have recognized them by their signs. And from their reluctant conversation you will definitely recognize them at this time also. O you who lay claim to faith, who are you deceiving? God knows your deeds. We shall necessarily try you, until we make distinct those among you who fight and persevere. And test your circumstances. Who are you following, and thereby destroying yourselves? Remember that those who have denied and have stopped people from the path of God, and have opposed the Prophet after guidance had become evident to them, shall certainly not be able to inflict any harm on God. In fact, He shall lay waste their own deeds. Believers, obey the directive of God and His messenger, disregarding everything. And let not your deeds come to nothing by being unfaithful to God and His messenger. There is no doubt that those who denied and stopped people from God's path, then died in this state of denial, God shall certainly not forgive them. So, do not show weakness, and these who are now about to be punished, do not invite them now to reconciliation. And bear in mind that you alone shall remain dominant. God is with you. And He shall definitely not show any reduction to you in the matter of your deeds. This life of the world is a sport and entertainment. If you profess faith and be virtuous, God will give your reward to you, and will not ask you to give all your wealth. And if He does ask you, and ask you all your wealth, it is known that you will show stinginess and clearly deny. And through this He will make evident your malice hidden in the hearts. Listen. You are people who, when invited to spend some part of your wealth in the way of God, then there are also some among you who show stinginess in it. Remember that he who shows stinginess is in fact stingy with his own self. God is self-sufficient, and you are dependent on Him. If you want to disobey God, go and do it. If you show disobedience, God will bring forth other people in your place. Then they will not be like you.